Hey everybody, welcome back. Movie Geek Out review time, and we're going to talk about a movie we just saw, and we just saw Shazam! Yeah. So, as usual, we are going to give you a minute or two, just real quick, our basic thoughts with no spoilers, and then we will give you a thorough spoiler warning before we just geek out over some spoilers, because that's what we're going to do. And if you're hearing the lovely sounds of the Target parking lot cleaning crew, because, you know, we're about to go on vacation, we had to make a stop and get some things for Drunken Movie Night, and he's literally blowing around our car right now and probably mad we're not leaving. But you know what? We got a video to make, and we're going to make it. So, Shazam is probably my favorite of the modern DC movies.
For me, it's up there with Aquaman, but it's for different reasons.
Yeah, and
it's like if I want straight up comedy, I'm going to be watching Shazam. If I want like epic adventure, fantasy, whatnot, then I'm going towards Aquaman.
I get what you're saying, but I think Aquaman had more comedy than Shazam.
I don't know.
Or at least on the same level. I don't know that Shazam was... I mean, I didn't feel like Shazam was that much of a comedy. Most of the jokes have been in the trailers. There were some we hadn't seen. It was appropriate.
Yeah, but I don't know. Because of that whole big twist to it, it felt more like a comedy.
I mean, it's more of a comedy rapper. I'll give you that. So, but I mean, again, and your opinion's valid. I'm not arguing your opinion. I was just explaining the difference of my opinion. Less CG, you know, because I enjoyed Aquaman, but, you know, kind of the end of Aquaman, it's just this big CG fest that reminded me of the Phantom Menace. I didn't have that problem with this one. Plus, Zachary, Levi, and the kids playing all the kids.
Yeah.
But when Zachary, Levi, and his buddy, not Billy, he's Billy, the other,
Michael?
the kid.
I'm pretty sure it's an M name.
The hero nerd kid. Anyways, they were fantastic together. Their chemistry was great. I could have watched more of them figuring stuff out for ages. I'm hoping there's lots of deleted scenes on the Blu-ray for that. I love the music in this. I think it looks good. The CG looked good. The fights were fun and you know, thrilling. Sound design was really good. I mean, it's just a really good time. I think they're really getting it together, DC. I still think they're a victim of succeeding at the wrong time, because they still have these problems of Superman and the old Batman, and how are you really going to bring this world together? Because I know a lot of people are happy that, like, oh good, they're starting to do these standalones and all that, and I'm fine for having those standalones, but I still want a DC cinematic universe. I still want that too, done right. And they're getting all these other characters like Wonder Woman, like Aquaman, like Shazam, right? And it's like, man, how are you going to rectify that though? I need that rectified.
What was it? The Crisis of Infinite Earths or whatever?
I guess they could do something like that, maybe. But that's it. Oh, and then one of the other things, too, and before we get out of no spoilers, because we're trying to make this one a little bit shorter because we got things to do.
I'm trying to think what the Flash is.
Flashpoint.
Flashpoint. That's what I was trying to think of.
Okay. That as well. Which, who knows if that's going to happen, because Ezra Miller's not happy with what's going on either, so he might be out as the Flash is the latest. Which is like, Jesus, all right. That said, the other couple things just to point out before we go to the spoiler section, for those of you that want to know, there is a mid-credit scene and there is definitely a post-credit scene, and they're totally worth seeing. Totally worth seeing. One is very weird, the other is very funny. One is going to make, I know I want to go look some things up. I need to learn some things about Shazam, and we'll talk about that in spoilers. And the other thing is, I think of all the DC movies, this easily had the best end credits.
Yeah.
Because pay attention to, like, what's going, not just the people's names, of course, but pay attention to what's going on in the background. They've got some great comedy going on in, like, this animated sequence in the background.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite Ramon songs. Whoops. Mild spoiler. I mean, not that you know what the song is, but I shouldn't have said Ramon song. I should have said song. But so there you go. There's our no spoiler. We liked it. Surprise. It's a superhero movie. But you know what? I've, like, really liked it. You know what I mean? I didn't come out of it like an Avengers or something like that. Like, oh my God. But I really enjoyed it. I would totally watch this again. Maybe I want to go home and watch Aquaman, actually. So.
Yeah.
All right, that's it. That's good. No spoiler. Okay, here comes your spoiler warning. Spoilers. So we'll give you a second in case you are, like, across the room doing 20 things, listening to, like, a podcast. You got to drop shit and break glass, and your cats are stepping through it, and you got to run over and, oh God, okay, why won't the button work? Okay, there you go. You've been well and properly spoiler warned with time to do something about it. So, all right, so spoilers. The Ramon song is I Don't Want to Grow Up, which is perfect. That's a perfect choice.
Yeah.
So where do we go? I guess it started off different than I would have expected.
Oh yeah, because you got the villain's origin story first, basically.
Yeah, which is kind of unusual, and I think I liked it, but I wasn't prepared for that.
Yeah.
And you know what? I guess we're supposed to feel bad later in the film when he comes back to get revenge on his brother and his father, but I was like, good for you.
Isn't this whole thing sort of like the original Wizard's fault to begin with? Because it's just going like, you'll never be worth.
You'll never amount to anything or something like that.
It's like, so he's normal.
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it. He's an average person.
Wait, you mean a wizard is a dick? Shocking.
Yeah, okay, good point.
Manipulative assholes. Actually, Djimon Hounsou, I can't quite say his name right.
Hounsou sounds about right.
But he's a fantastic actor. He might have been slightly weak in this. I don't know.
Well, it's not like they gave him a ton to do.
Well, I think what it is it's just, I don't know if it's the wig or the makeup. He was the one element, though, that did feel a little...
He had so much clothing and hair on him, you could barely see him.
But I'm saying, like, his performance, it crossed the line by a little bit into too comic accurate, too ridiculous. I don't know, it just... That's, like, my really only one really complaint about the movie. And it's minor. It didn't really bother me. I just had a moment where I was like, it's a little bit much, but all right, I'll go with it. You know, but it was neat seeing that dark thing, and you knew. And no, actually, you know what? It's the father too, man, because
toxic masculinity.
He comes, yeah, absolutely, because the kid comes back from the wizard, and of course they don't believe him, and the kid's freaking out trying to get out of the car. Like the brother's turning around to try and stop him from getting out of the car. What does the father do? He speeds up and swerves while he's looking like. Your kid's trying to slow the fuck down and pull over, and then maybe you won't end up in this big spin out. You know what I mean? So there's that. And then the dumbass father sits there in a T section of a road.
Well,
like, get the fuck out of the road.
I didn't think that was a T section.
Well,
it was
like
the side of the road.
It was one of those obvious. No, it was definitely not the side of the road. You could see that he was in the road because I knew a car was hitting them long before it happened.
I thought he skidded off to the side of the road.
No.
It was not that obvious.
And then
if I didn't see it, it wasn't that obvious.
Fair enough, but I also feel like there's no way the car that T-boned them, unless they didn't say it was a drunk driver, but it's like, he would have seen that car long before he hit it.
No, actually.
That was not a curve.
No, actually, it looked like a hill.
It was not a blind bend. He was coming at him.
That's not a bend, though. That's a hill.
I don't think he was, no, I saw the road looking like this, like the car was here and the road came to, we'll just have to, we'll have to look at that again. Anyways, it was great casting, making me hate his father and his brother, but yeah, I don't feel bad that they got what they got. I don't feel bad at all.
I feel bad for the rest of the boardroom.
Yeah. Although they had that smug thing of, oh, the boss is laughing, haha, we'll laugh too. But that's not really a death crime. So you're right, I feel bad for them. But anyways, the opening was pretty cool. They did a great job making you feel for Billy Batson right off the bat.
Yeah.
Although, and I'm glad they rectified this, because when he loses his mom, I was like, wouldn't the mom know, like, that she's not holding his hand anymore, like, immediately? So I was kind of like, wait, and then I was confused, like, how would the mom had never, so I was like, did she get kidnapped herself? Did she die? What the hell happened? So I thought that was a great and a realistic and a very heartbreaking reveal that, you know, it's like, well, I kind of just saw that as my opportunity to abandon you.
Although I think they needed to do a little something, because she says, I was 17. And you look at her and it's just like 17 going on 30.
Yeah, I didn't get that at all until she actually said it. You know, I was like, oh, okay,
and then it flashes back to her and it's like, that's not 17.
Right, yeah.
That's not even 25 trying to play 17. Yeah. That's no.
But I do love that was like his thing. He kept running away from all these foster homes and everything, trying to find them. So that was pretty cool. And I thought that was neat that when they were beating up his buddy, before they were buddies, that it was the line about, oh, you're going to cry to your mom? Oh, that's right, you don't have one. Like, that was his trigger, like, no, I can't. I have to do something now. Because, but those fucking bullies, and then the way the kids deal with it too. Like, what the fuck? That was attempted manslaughter. Like, that's not just, hey, let's all stand around and laugh, or hey, that's a bully fight, or that's okay, we'll just move on. How are those fucking douchebags not in jail? They hit the fucking kid with their car.
It's Philadelphia.
Still. And like, there were 200 witnesses standing there watching it happen. And then they get out and beat him up. And I'm
I've
like,
heard stories about Philadelphia. It's Philadelphia.
that's true. That is where the peaceful hitchhiking robot was destroyed, wasn't it?
I think so.
Yeah. But anyways, like that just bothered me, like on a human level. Not making fun of the movie, not saying it was wrong in the movie, but man, that got under my skin. Which again was great because I thought maybe the bullies could have had a little bit more repercussions, but I do like the turnaround that he was the one that saved them by giving them the briefcase wedgies. So that was cool.
But you were talking about sort of plot holes and stuff earlier.
Sure.
It seemed to me there's a couple of times in the movie I'm like, how do you even know that?
Yeah, specifics, because I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
One in particular is at the very end of the movie where he seems to know that the eye goes into the special thing and the things will recreate themselves. It's like, you never even saw the damn thing before.
Okay, that is true, but I could argue that when the wizard transferred all his powers, that it would have just kind of been like transferred knowledge.
The same way that he knew all his superpowers right off the bat?
Well, I'm saying maybe he didn't know how to access it or anything, too. I don't know. I mean, I could kind of see how that would work, you know?
I don't know.
Because also, too, it's like he has the superpower abilities immediately. He just needs to figure out that he can do it. Because once he starts figuring it out, it's pretty damn cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not saying you're right, that I'm right and you're wrong or anything. I'm just trying to float a theory as to what may make that make sense, at least for me. I do love that they had him doing the hands, lightning hands to Eye of the Tiger up there. That was pretty great. Yeah, like stealing money out of ATMs and all that shit. It's like, at what point is he going to become a criminal? Because Jesus, man.
Like 5 minutes in the being a superhero.
Yeah, and then like they show like they have like all the TVs and IMAX and like all the stuff they bought in the foster home, and I'm like, how are you going to explain that to Jerry and his wife? That's not the dad's name, by the way. That guy who played the foster dad is Jerry on The Walking Dead, who's like insanely lovable. Like, I will lose my shit if he ever dies on The Walking Dead.
But he's gonna die.
Someday, but hopefully not anytime soon. But it was really cool to see him in another role. And again, the foster parents I thought were really well done and well portrayed. And all the kids, the little girl was adorable. You know, and like the whole thing where everybody else figures out that Billy is Shazam. And she's like, yay, you finally figured it out and I never told you. I'm a good sister. That was so cool. That was so cool. And her Shazam form was like the best of the other Shazam forms too.
Well, the funny thing about that is that her, especially with her doing all the super speed, it's very reminiscent of XS on The Flash right now.
I quit watching a while ago.
Yeah, spoilers?
Well, don't spoil other shows here.
Well, if you watch Flash, you know what I'm talking about.
There you go. Yeah, and that was kind of funny too. That I love the
purple suits too.
Yeah. And I love the speed effects in this. I think they did a great job with the speed effects. And again, that in credits, the actual like the animated drawing is clearly like animations of the children like living out their fantasies with the other DC heroes. So it was great seeing her like outrunning the Flash and confusing him, and he trips like he did in Justice League. I thought that was great. That was one of those nice little touches. Villain Mark Strong.
Yeah.
Excellent. I wasn't sure from the trailers, and I don't know anything about, I'm not well versed on Shazam, but I think he pulled it off really well. And I love the idea that he was envy and, and with the eye and again, his vengeance on his father. And no one told me there were going to be badass fucking monsters in this thing that are eating people's heads off. I was like, thank you. I'm glad nobody told me that. That was a very pleasant surprise. Like, this is a little dark for a...
But you're sitting there going like, okay, which one's which now? Okay, wrath is obvious. Gluttony's obvious. I'm going to guess the one with the tentacle tongue is probably lust.
Ah, that makes sense.
But yeah, I agree with Shazam. I thought it would have been a lot hotter.
Yeah, that was a great line, too. Zachary Levi is just, I'm so glad he's got another big chance at something, because he's been around, he's been doing some stuff, but like this is a bigger thing, and he was perfectly cast in this. When the slug thing was shown in the beginning of the movie, and then they shortly later showed that the jar was broken, I knew that was going to come back somewhere. I'm like, I bet that's something in the Shazam universe I don't know. So the fact that was the mid-credit...
I think it's technically a caterpillar.
Well, okay, I know, I'm such an entomologist. Yeah, right. See, I don't know. She did it below camera too, so you couldn't see that she was clapping. So that was like the weird but awesomely weird thing at the end, like the mid-credit scene, like it's talking to him. I was hoping for a Black Adam. Black Adam, thank you. It's a different CW DC thing. A cameo that we didn't get, but the slug talking to Mark Strong in prison was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like how they beat Mark Strong. I thought that was cool. I like Mary was really cool. I mean, you're cooler. We got to get you in that Shazam costume.
I didn't like that one.
No,
That's
I just want to see
least
you.
Favorite
I know.
Of all the Shazam
I just want to see you in it. Is all.
You just want me to do the Catholic schoolgirl thing. That's really what you want.
That's what it is, isn't it? Okay,
is.
I had not connected that.
It's
short
that
skirt,
short pleated skirt,
long jacket. Wait. Speaking of Chuck,
I actually like that song.
Yeah, and it's a theme song to Chuck with Zachary Levi. Boom. Was it a theme song to Chuck? I think so. I know they did the theme song.
I never watched Chuck.
Oh, that's such a great show. It's only 5 seasons. We should do it. I'll rewatch it in our infinite free time. But yeah, so all that was great. Casting was great. The music. I love they actually. Oh, we did. Okay, we'll get to that. But I love that the music was going for the John Williams old school Superman vibe, and I think they really captured it. They really did, because I got that a bunch of times.
I pointed out, it's like, well, if you consider the fact that, you know, Shazam / Captain Marvel was technically a Superman knockoff to begin with.
Right, which...
that seems a bit meta.
Which they didn't do in the movie, because some of you may not know, so we'll throw it out there, but one of the earlier versions of how Shazam worked was when he got this power, he was able to create his own look, what he looked like, so he modeled it after Superman. And that's why he's like super extra muscular and all that. They didn't actually do that in this movie. It was just, I guess that's what you look like when you get your power. I don't know if that's something they'll play on in the sequels or what.
I was sitting here going, like, when all of them turned Shazam, it's just like, okay, now you're Power Rangers.
Oh, yeah. I still want a sequel to that. That was actually a good movie. Or at least enjoyable movie. But yeah. So that was really cool. The monsters, the Santa stuff.
Oh, yeah.
That was great, especially at the end when he gets on the news. He's like, they were fucking shooting lightning out of their fucking everywhere. There's so much fucking light. Of course, they're beeping it, you know, but it's like, oh, that's cool. And I guess we're going to talk about the very end scene, which is heavily theorized to kind of be what would happen, and it's totally what would happen, just a minor difference. Is, you know, because the kid, the best buddy, wanted Shazam to show up and prove they were friends or whatever. So at the end, all the kids are around the table and Shazam shows up as a friend. You're like, yeah, all right, cool. I'm glad they're doing this. And everybody's minds are blown. And then Shazam's like, oh, I also brought another friend. I'm like, oh my God, they're going to do it. And they did it. They played the John Williams Superman theme, neck down only, no Henry Cavill, but Superman shows up to lunch and he's holding like the tray with like the milk on it and everything. I'm like, that's so fucking cool. So I was so happy that we got that moment too. And then, of course, the post-credit scene is a fantastic Aquaman joke. Fantastic Aquaman joke. And I loved it. Freddy.
Is it Freddy?
Freddy, that seems right.
Actually, I think you are.
Yeah, that Freddy was, like, secret test of power. Like, we're going to test for teleportation. Shh, secret fire immunity test. And he, like, lights the box on fire. Like, that was awesome.
And he's like, run away!
Yeah. But yeah, again, I mean, you know, and the fights, what I liked about the ending, you know, because again, I enjoyed Aquaman, but it really is just still a big CG fest. It's still kind of like Wonder Woman, where it's just this big CG environment and CG everything with like a person on a green screen kind of thing, which bothers me a little bit because it's just too much of that. But in this, what I like is they didn't do a lot of that. I mean, of course, there's CG with like flying and a couple of monsters, but they set it in a city, clearly see the buildings, you know, you're seeing these superhumans fighting in a recognizable area, you know, that you can look out your window and see, which was cool with the little kid and the Batman Superman doll and you know, so all that. So I really appreciated that. It was a fight you could follow and it wasn't overly reliant on the CG in the background. It really was character based in what they were doing. And I appreciated that quite a bit. But yeah, I think that's mostly what I got. We hit all the beats we want to geek out about. You got anything else you want to geek out about? There's other good songs in the movie.
No, actually, I can't really think of anything at the moment.
Yeah, pacing's fantastic. Never felt dull. I like that, you know, the wizard had been looking through hundreds of people, apparently.
Oh, yeah.
And then the doctor dissolving, that was nuts.
The thing is just like, was Billy Batson really better than any of those other ones, or did you just run out of options? It's like, oh fuck, I have to pick somebody now.
I think that's what it was. That's what I get, because even when he chooses Billy, he's like, there's no test. So it's like, well, how do you know his heart is pure if you can't test it?
Yeah, this is just sitting there going like, whatever.
Yeah, it's like, I'm out of time. If you're the best option I got. You're it, kid.
Again, and how many of those other people were, they were just as good as Billy. Billy probably would have gone for the orb too if, he had had a chance.
Yeah, most likely. I like too at the end that he was pretending that it was working and all the other Shazams were like,
I knew that was going to fake out.
I did too, but it still was funny. It still worked.
What was that?
Oh,
I murder my friends? Okay.
And I love too when Billy Batson figured out how to turn off Shazam at the house, like right as Father Jerry does a bulb on the Christmas tree, so he thinks he turned out all the power. Oh god, Captain Sparkle Fingers. Oh god, the convenience store. There's more to that than we had seen about bullet immunity. Wait, we don't know if it's the costume. Shoot him in the face. Yeah, shoot him in the face. Boom, 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 and he's like little divots. I thought that was such a cool effect. He's like, kind of tickles. You're dead. Oh, and the beer. Like, that whole sequence was great. They taste the beer.
I knew that was going to happen.
And then they go back in and come back with the snacks. That was awesome, too.
Just because beer is just nasty. I'm sorry.
It is an acquired taste. But once you get that taste and you start pairing it with the right foods, it's delicious. But, and then his first trying to stop the mugging. It's like, no, he's the one screaming like a girl because I just maced him in the face. And he's like, oh, well, at least I stopped him from getting a purse or whatever. She's like, no, I still have my purse. And then she gets so freaked out by his superpowers that she's like, no, here's my money. Don't hurt me. And she runs away. Like, that whole sequence was pretty great, too. Yeah, flying through the mall. I just thought that was neat because that's not something we've seen in these movies, just a casual fly through the mall. So all these little details just made it really a little bit different, really fun, and a great entry to the DC universe.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll keep it going. Oh, the Batarang. They actually throw the Batarang. I thought that was a nice little touch, and it hits him and cuts him because all the sins are out of him.
Yeah.
But that's a cool way they did that. So yeah. All right. You got anything else?
No.
All right. Well, drunken movie night. 40th birthday and then vacation, so we're out. But comment away, let us know. Did you see Captain Marvel, aka Shazam? I had to make the joke at some point. I'm sure everybody else is. Let us know. What did you guys think? What was your favorite part? What would you like to see otherwise? What do you hope for sequels? Geek out with us in the comments. We'd love to hear what you have to say. I forgot to say that in the beginning too, that we don't really review. We just geek out about movies we talk about. Whatever.
You kind of did.
Yeah, I mean, kind of review, but anyways, let us know. We love to hear what you have to say. You can also get my reviews and us talking right out of the movie theater on the Stardust app, looking up TheEricButts, or using the link in the description below. I leave you holes. Occasionally you fill them. We're gonna get out of here, go on vacation, watch some more stuff.
Freezing.
We'll see you all later.